Hi, it's Pastor Ken again from Northminster Presbyterian Church. Hope you're having a great day. We've been returning to our daily devotions, and we are using our Presbyterian mission liturgical calendar that gives us several readings from Scripture each and every day. And today, I'm going to focus on a couple of them. One's from Philippians and the other one's from the second chapter of Matthew. If you want to read all of the scriptures today, I believe there's a link at the bottom of this video, and you just click on there and you can see all the readings. The first one then is from Philippians 2:12 to 30. I'm going to read the first two verses, 12 and 13. And this is Paul writing, "Therefore, my beloved, just as you have always obeyed me, not only in my presence, but much more now in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. For it is God who is at work in you, enabling you both to will and to work for his good pleasure." And then from Matthew 2:13 to 23, I'm going to read 13, 14, and 15. Now, after they had left, this is the wise men visiting Jesus, and the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in the dream and said, "Get up, take the child and his mother and flee to Egypt and remain there until I tell you, for Herod is about to search for the child to destroy him." Then Joseph got up, took the child and his mother by night and went to Egypt and remained there until the death of Herod. This was to fulfill what had been spoken by the Lord through the prophet, "Out of Egypt I have called my son." There's that interesting phrase from the Philippians passage, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Notice though, Paul is not saying work so you can get a salvation. Paul is saying, because you are saved, work that out. Work it out and live it out with a sense of fear and trembling, a sense that you know that God has given you his grace, and it is only because of his grace, his loving grace. And so it's a loving fear and a loving trembling that we work out what God has already worked in with us. And we see that example in the life of Joseph. How do you work out? Well, you obey God. The last verse in that Philippians 13, "For it is God who's at work in you." Do we see how God was at work in Joseph, enabling you both to will and to work for his good pleasure? And this was God's good pleasure, that his son would be called out of Egypt. It's so interesting in the birth story out of Matthew that Joseph doesn't say anything. He doesn't have one word in the entire narrative. And the way he works out God's grace in his life is by taking care of Mary and now taking care of his son, his newborn son, with all the chaos, with all the confusion, with all the issues that were surrounding that birth. He simply obeys God in some very simple steps to protect Mary, his bride, and now his son. And I think that's a great lesson for us. Lots of times we wonder, well, how am I doing the will and the purpose of God? Well, it's in simply doing the day-to-day things. It's being a good husband, being a good sister, being a good brother. It's working hard at our jobs. It's being honest. It's being a good citizen. There are so many ways that we work out what God has worked into us. And so I hope these two scriptures were an encouragement to you. May we, like Joseph, work continually, each and every day, work out that salvation that God has worked into our lives. Hope you have a great day. Hope you are well, and be safe. God bless.